Hey, what's up guys? This is Timely here to bring you guys another Unison League video. So today, a team has just dropped a new spawn with a new monster and a whole bunch of other stuff that they came out with too. So the first thing I noticed was the shopping cart. The shopping cart has came back, which is pretty awesome. So you got all of your orbs in here, and then you got your pasas and whatnot. The shopping cart has been gone for so long, probably like half a year. Like, I've always wanted it to come back because I'm pretty lazy with getting orbs, and I always have to farm like medals to buy the orb from the metal exchange because I'm so unlucky doing Arcadias and whatnot. So this saves me a lot of free time. And now I'm almost finally ready to awaken one of my armors. So that's always good. I wish I had it ready before colo came back, but it's all good. What else came out today? So this new monster, Sin of Greed Madia. So I actually think she's pretty good. She's got a unique ability that is unique to her for now. So she increases the activation priority of this unison effect by 1. So I think what that means is kind of like similar to Pokemon, how some Pokemon have priority moves. So like Aqua Jet or like something like that with a priority move, sneak attack. They always like move first because they have priority. So I think it's going to be similar to that. It says activation priority of this unison effect by 1. So she's going to move first in game modes in like duel and colo. I'm not sure how she's going to work in guild battles. If she moved first after losing in a guild battle, I think that would be pretty broken actually, because then players would be able to survive and then they'd be able to retaliate with their unison. So we'll see how that works soon, if she's able to actually do that, because that would be pretty game changing. Next, she recovers 60% of max HP for all allies, so that is pretty much like a 100% heal at skill level 5, so I can actually see that being really, really good, especially for PvE. If you have a lot of people that use hero, she could heal them for 50% of their max HP, which is not that bad. It's actually a pretty decent heal. Since she moves first all the time in duel and colo, I don't really see that being that useful because everyone's already going to have full health. Unless someone tries to snipe them and then they have lower health. Next, she heals all allies for 10% of their max HP every 5 seconds, so that's a 2-stack regen, which is nice, always good to have. Reduces physical and magic damage taken by all allies by 40% for 40 seconds. She's got that 4-stack barrier, so in colo and duel, she puts up a 4-stack barrier, and then your allies are more likely to survive in a unison battle, so they can get off their unisons. And then next, she reduces physical and magic damage received by all allies to 0 twice. So that's always a nice touch to add on top of that barrier. So even if someone throws like an Odin or a piercing monster like Lacrosse Vivi, she can still block the first 2 hits. Now with Odin's most likely to hit everyone at least 3 times, so she's probably going to block his hits 2 times, which is always nice. So you can at least survive the Odin, but you won't have your barriers anymore. Alrighty, and then recovers 25 cost for all allies, and then increases the ability power of all allies light unison damage by 40 for 60 seconds. So she'll move first in colo and duel, and then other players can throw light monsters like Summer Valk, Cinderella, Romeo, Tequila, and all those sorts of monsters that can do some pretty nice high damage and then actually do some good damage against the enemies. Too bad there are no light monsters right now that can strip barriers and wards and resurrection, because then they would be extra devastating. Maybe one day. And then lastly, she casts Resurrection on yourself. So it's too bad that she doesn't cast Resurrection on everyone. If only she did that. I think that since it casts Resurrection on only on the player using her, I think that's a very selfish ability, but that's like the one drawback from her, in my opinion. I think she's going to be a very, very powerful throw for duel and colo. Maybe for GB, we'll have to see how she works. And then for PvE, she's got a really strong heal to help support players that like to use hero all the time. So, would I spawn for her? Maybe. Like, I don't see her like really like power creep. But however, her spawn is actually pretty decent because you either get the jackpots are 1,000 medals or a scroll. So if you look at the medal exchange real quick, you can see that she costs 10,000 medals. Now, you could probably get 7 jackpots and then not get her, but you'll get 7,000 medals, and then you can probably pull the last of the medals from doing spawns and then getting the medals from the other treasure chests too, which give 400 and 200 respectively. So I think she'd be pretty easy pulling medals and then getting her that way. But you could also get Tequila, Holmes, and like Romeo too from the medals as well. If you really wanted them, you can get them now. I also like how this spawn is very generous with medals. So you can get 2 jackpots and then you can buy any of these kinds of gears. If you look here, you got the Almighty Seal gun, then you got your crystal stuff. The reason why I like these kinds of spawns with these generous medals and whatnot is because when you hit class spawn, you're gonna have to find a way to get your weapons to the 5th infusion. Now, you're not gonna hit class spawn again hoping to get a duplicate weapon to feed into your weapons in the 4th infusion, because that would be pretty wasteful, right? Because you have 2 weapons that are infused 4 times, and then you'd be feeding that one to the other one just to get to the 5th infusion, and that would be like 80 gems, which I don't really see that being like really useful. So like, for example, I have, where is it? I have this. It's all the way up to the 3rd infusion. I wasn't able to get it to the 4th infusion because it cost too much ether drops. Now, if I had gems, this would be the perfect opportunity for me to get it to the 4th infusion. But too bad I spent it on my last, on the last class spawn that came out. But it was worth it because I got this. And then in other news too, Crystal of the Sacred Altar ended, and then the Battle of Colosseum is here. I'm super excited. I'm probably going to stay up tonight and wait because I really want to do some colo and try out the builds that I've been building and see how it holds up in this new meta with all these new monsters that are out right now. It's going to be really exciting. I'm going to stay up. I might record too. So there's that. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. That's all I have to say about the monster. I wouldn't say she's power creep, but she's definitely worth spawning if you have the gems and you really want her. So yeah, I had to get going now. Peace.